This is a KMVT Sports presentation.
Welcome to the Razcobb Memorial Gymnasium on the campus of St. Francis High School in the city of Mountain View. KMVT Channel 6 Sports proudly presents high school girls basketball in the Santa Clara Valley De Anza division here on KMVT Channel 6. Andre Polizzi along with our producer director Lazarus Sargentidis and all the gang. Tonight the St. Francis Lancers trying to wrap up a good week as they take on the Homestead Mustangs. The Lancers and Mustangs both coming in with 15-2, both 3-1 in the Santa Clara Valley De Anza division. As you see, Ernie Dosa and the Homestead Mustangs getting ready for tonight's game. Look at Monta Vista. The Monta Vista Matadors, a perfect 16-0, number one in the CCS. We'll take a look at the rankings a little bit later. 6-0 in the De Anza division, coming off a win over St. Francis here at Razcobb last week. Homestead and St. Francis tied for second at 3-1. Monta Vista already playing on Thursday night of this week. They beat Lynbrook. Annie Garrison, 26 points, as you see Ernie Dosa again, putting his playbook together, the Homestead head coach. They whipped Lynbrook behind 26 from Annie Garrison to improve to 16-0. These two teams trying to get all alone in second place with a 4-1 mark. And St. Francis has made some changes in their starting lineup tonight. St. Francis got the tip, but Homestead will take it after St. Francis unable to control it. St. Francis starting tonight, the usual Courtney Keegan, Charlie Ryerson, and Sandy Oseguera as Homestead inbounds the ball. But they are also starting Shauna McGlennon and Nikki Heil. Heather Goodell-Kelly not getting a start tonight. And neither was Teresa Guerra, so we'll talk a little bit more about that as we go along here. Ball knocked out of bounds. Homestead will keep it, 14 on the shot clock, and there's Mike DiCarlo, the proprietor of those changes in the starting lineup. Mike wanting to go with a little bit smaller lineup tonight to match up against a very small Homestead team. Homestead very quick. Erin Morikawa there with the ball, and a 24-second violation as Michelle Wall, there you see Michelle, number 14, was trying to get a shot off, but it was too late. Homestead used the whole shot clock, and St. Francis will take over on the 30-second violation. Homestead also playing Yvonne Chen, Hillary Parker, and Bree Ahern. The last two, their main stars. There's Yvonne Chen with it. Pretty much a 5-guard lineup that Homestead uses, as the shot is no good by Morikawa. Aaron gonna get another chance, and this time from 10, it's off the rim. The rebound grabbed by Shauna McGlennon and given off to Courtney Keegan. Goodell-Kelly and Teresa Guerra will both play, just not starting tonight. A little bit of a different look for the Lancers. Wanted to be a little quicker on the floor. Heil in the middle, back out. Now Keegan from three-point land, and it's good. First basket of the game to Courtney Keegan, one of the Lancer tri-captains and one of the best players on this team and one of the best guards in the CCS. 3-0 St. Francis early going. Both teams trying to seize second place in the De Anza division, all to themselves at 4-1. The loser will remain in third at 3-2. Monta Vista just rolling along, both teams trying to catch them. We've got rematch dates to give you. We'll give you those as we go on. We got CCS rankings for you later. A good game going tonight. Basket from 4 feet by Hillary Parker, and she has the first deuce of the night for Homestead. 3-2 St. Francis. 2 minutes gone in this contest. Charlie Ryerson cross court to McGlennon, in the middle to Heil. Heil won't shoot. Gets it back out to Keegan. Now Ryerson for a 3, and this one is good. Back-to-back threes by the Lancers. Keegan and Ryerson, 6-2 St. Francis. Yvonne Chen playing the point guard position, pretty much 5 guards. You could say that Hillary Parker's really a forward. And she'll guard whoever the biggest Lancer is out on the floor at each time. Right now, Nikki Heil. Lancers pull the missed shot. Partially blocked, so an air ball. Lancers push it up quickly, but it's out of bounds for Mike DiCarlo's St. Francis Lancers, who lead 6-2. Referee handing the ball off. Tonight, the Zebras, Craig Goldberg and Andy Fracchia. Good veteran CCS crew here tonight for this all-important Santa Clara Valley De Anza division matchup. Bree Ahern Into Parker. Parker's shot swatted by Nikki Heil. Nikki Heil with a block, St. Francis' second block. And a 12-footer good by Sandy Oseguera. Oseguera played a little bit on the varsity last year, but has really come into her own and become a full-time starter this year. Sandy with 2, 8-2 St. Francis. .447 to go. Charlie Ryerson steals it away from Michelle Wall. Homestead playing man-to-man defense. Nikki Heil back to Courtney Keegan. Nikki in the middle, 10-foot turnaround jumper, no good. Now we have our first foul of the game inside. Looks like they got Charlie Ryerson on the reach, and Ernie Dosa looks on, his club down 8-2. Charlie Ryerson, first foul of the game, first team foul of the half, and Heather Goodell Kelly will replace Sandy Oseguera. So Mike DiCarlo now will decide to go big. Oseguera leaves with 2 points. And here comes Homestead, down 8-2, 4:20 mark, first quarter. Glad you're with us today on KMVT. Brie Ahern trying to get around McGlennon. McGlennon making one of very few starts this year, but she has seen significant playing time in reserve role. Ball out of bounds. Yumi Min, who has come into the game, tried to save it. There's Yumi, but it'll be St. Francis ball. Yumi couldn't quite get to it in time. Yumi, a 5'4" senior. Homestead, a veteran club. 7 of their 12 players are seniors. Only 1 junior, 3 sophomores, and a freshman. St. Francis also a senior-laden club, but a lot of juniors too. Homestead pulling the loose ball following the partially blocked shot. Yumi Min driving, gives it to Hillary Parker. She puts it up and in. Hillary Parker's second hoop, 8-4 St. Francis. 4.5 minutes gone, first quarter. Homestead with a mini press, and the Lancers break through with 16 on the shot clock. Courtney Keegan to McGlennon. Heil trying to get it inside to Goodell Kelly. She has to back out with it. McGlennon with 5 on the shot clock. Heil scores. McGlennon got that one to Nikki Heil. She has her first deuce. 10-4 Lancers. Green-clad Mustangs ask for time. So 2:48 to go here in quarter number 1. Mike DiCarlo's club on fire at the start. It is 10-4 St. Francis. You're watching high school girls basketball, only on KMVT. Homestead bringing their cheerleaders from Cupertino here into Mountain View and St. Francis High School's Raz Cobb Gym. 2:40 to go. Yumi Min a 3, no good. It hit the front of the rim. Homestead rebounded it, but Parker threw it away. Now Homestead recovers it, as Aaron Morikawa got a hand in there and swatted it away. And there's a 30-second violation. Homestead, as we've played 5 minutes, 35 seconds, already has 2 shot clock violations. And Ernie Dosa not happy about that. Ernie with a small team this year. Hillary Parker, the tallest player at 6 foot. And she's really a forward, not really a center. Matched up on Nikki Heil, Lancers with the ball, 6-point lead. They go inside to Heil, and Nikki is in the key 3 seconds. Nikki, who played in Kansas the last 2 years after playing her freshman year at St. Francis. Nikki was named one of the top basketball players in her area by a Kansas newspaper called the Sun Country newspaper. And she went to middle school in Texas, a town called Colleyville. There's a long 2 by Brie Ahern. This kid can shoot. And right there, she puts in a 18-footer to make it 10-6 Lancers. Lancers quickly up court. Ryerson for 3, no. Rebound Goodell Kelly, blocked by Hillary Parker. And we're gonna have a Lancer foul down low after Parker snatched the ball away. Personal foul is on Charlie Ryerson. Ryerson reaching in during the battle for the rebound as Oseguera returns for Ryerson. That is Charlie's second personal and the second team foul of the half. 1:33 to go. Homestead down by 4. And trying to get even closer than that. Michelle Wald moving the ball around, back to her, and she's fouled by Heather Goodell-Kelly as she goes up for the shot. Goodell-Kelly's first foul, third team foul on the Lancers. Mike DiCarlo not too happy about that call. Let's take a look ourselves again. Wald got in there, and Goodell-Kelly appeared to get her with the body. Didn't appear to be any hand contact. Michelle Wald at the line. Wald, a 5'9" sophomore. First free throw, no good. Both teams 15-2, 3-1 in the De Anza division. And kind of a key game tonight. These two teams will meet again February 15th in the afternoon. That is a Saturday afternoon for a rematch at Homestead High in Cupertino. Michelle Wald's first point, 10-7 Lancers. Lancers force it up court to Goodell-Kelly, and it gets out of her hands and into the hands of Yumi Min. Bree Ahern passing it around. Wald back to Min. Now back to Ahern. Bree, a very good shooter. She pumps this one from 14, and it's off the backboard, no good. Rebound by Ahern. She got it all the way back. Now Wald gets another rebound, and finally the Lancers take it away after the Mustangs get 3 tries, and we're in tenths of a second time now. Goodell-Kelly back out Keegan. Good defense by Homestead since the Lancers had a 10-2 lead, but Goodell-Kelly pumps this one in. She's got her first basket, and it's 12-7 Lancers with 27 seconds to go. The shot clock is about a second ahead of the game clock. With 19, Ahern with it. Trying to get it inside to Parker. Instead, Homestead whips it around. Homestead going to take the final shot. Now they take it a little earlier. Chen for 3, no good. Rebound, Ahern puts it back up. It bounces twice, bounces off. 5 seconds, ball out of bounds, and Homestead keeps it with 3.9. Excellent first quarter action here at the Razcob between these two well-matched teams. Inbound, time for one last shot. Min, it is off. That's the end of one at the Razcob Memorial Gymnasium at St. Francis. There you see the score, Lancers 12, Mustangs 7, and we're with you for the second quarter on KMVT. Second quarter underway at the Razcob, 12-7. Lancers on top, Andre Polizzi, along with our producer-director, Lazarus Sargenides. And the whole KMVT gang working tonight. Missed shot by Bree Ahern, hauled down by Heather Goodell-Kelly, and the Lancers push it. Teresa Guerra into the lineup for the Lancers for the first time tonight. She's out there with McGlennon, Oseguera, Keegan, and Heather Goodell-Kelly. Good pass by Goodell-Kelly into Keegan. Keegan's drive missed. Goodell-Kelly back up, no good. Joust for the ball, and Michelle Wald playing very well, hauls it in. Mustangs trailing the homestanding Lancers by 5. We talked about the Lancers trying to wrap up a good week. They whooped Palo Alto earlier this week, 63-18 for their third league win in 4 tries. The only loss, of course, to steamrolling Monte Vista. Yvonne Chen, another 3 missed, and Michelle Wald, another rebound. And it looks like we have another Lancer foul. Homestead has not fouled yet in this game, and our referee, Andre Fracchia, tells us Heather Goodell-Kelly has picked up her second personal, the 4th team foul. So Goodell-Kelly playing with 2, Ryerson on the bench with 2 right now. Chen whips it around to Bree Ahern. Ahern with those black socks, the rest of her teammates wearing white. Bree always a standout, you can tell who she is right away. Tried to get it down low to Hillary Parker, and it's out of bounds with 13 on the shot clock. In that game against Palo Alto, St. Francis led at the half 34-7. And at the end of 3 quarters, 50-16. So not a good game for the Palo Alto Vikings. Homestead trying to drive the lane, and Michelle Wald travels. Wald, a good sophomore player, 5'9", as we mentioned. Technically playing the small forward tonight, but she is really a guard. St. Francis led the other night by Teresa Guerra's 11, Heather Goodell Kelly's 11. Long bomb by Guerra, no good. Goodell Kelly wrestles for the rebound. Back to Keegan, touch pass McGlennon, no. And another foul called down low. And if that's on Goodell Kelly, that's her third. It is on Heather, her third personal here in 1 quarter plus a minute 43 as Goodell Kelly takes it away. You're gonna see the foul right there. Very ticky-tack foul by our veteran crew of Craig Goldberg and Andy Fracchia. 14 fouls on St. Francis, the Mustangs no foul yet. Homestead shot falls out of bounds. Touched by a Lancer, I believe Teresa Guerra got a hand on it. And Homestead keeps. No scoring here in the second quarter so far, still 12-7 where we were at the break, almost 2 minutes gone. But Brie Ahern changes that with a 3. She has 2 baskets, 5 points, and it's 12-10, Lancers by 2. St. Francis led at one point 10-2 in this game, but an 8-2 run by Homestead has closed that to 2 points. Heil, flip pass. Oseguera, Keegan off of Oseguera again and out of bounds. Charlie Ryerson returns for Teresa Guerra. Charlie playing with 2 of the Lancers' 5 team fouls. 5:36 to go. Mike DiCarlo a little bit concerned. His club up by 2. After coming out both guns blazing, have cooled off a little bit behind some foul trouble and poor shooting. Homestead continuing to lose a lot of shot clock. They've already had 2 shot clock violations. And we get another foul on the Lancers. This one is on Courtney Keegan. Oh, actually, they call that on Homestead. That's the first Homestead foul. That's on Michelle Wall, not Courtney Keegan.
Come on, guys,
My apologies on that one. 14-footer missed by McGlennon. Now Keegan for 3 off the front iron, and Homestead pulls it down. Brie Ahern getting the board. 12-10 our score. A little more than halfway through the second quarter. Here's McGlennon. Steele drives, and she traveled before the shot. And the team in green will get it as one of the Homestead fans looks on. Ernie Dosa got his club. Good mixture of seniors and sophomores with a junior and freshman aboard. And Hillary Parker down low. She can't lay it in. Taken away by Keegan. Charlie Ryerson pushing it up. Looking for Heil. Goes back to Keegan. Now inside to Nikki. Nikki and Charlie catch. Heil's shot, touched by a Lancer, out of bounds. Nikki a little frustrated. Retrieves the ball from a fan. And the Lancers have gone halfway through the second quarter without scoring. 12-10. Shauna McGlennon gets a rest. Teresa Guerra back in there. As Mike DiCarlo going with a core of 8 players right now through the first quarter and a half. The Homestead sub a little too late. Michelle Wald not allowed to return. She'll get a break for a little longer. Driving and having her shot blocked by Heil was Chen. Put back no good. Parker no good again. Another Lancer foul. This time it will be the Lancers' 6th team foul. And it's on Teresa Guerra, her first. Michelle Wald now back in. And Hillary Parker. First of 2, no good. Hillary, 6 foot, tallest player on Homestead, a senior. Hillary really a forward playing at center, but she doesn't mind as long as her team wins. She missed them both, that won't help. Jump ball situation, arrow favors the Lancers. Mike DiCarlo not happy. He'll have to give up the next possession. And the clock's still moving here at St. Francis, even though play has been stopped. So he lost about 8 free seconds there. I don't know which team that will bother at this point since it's a close game right now. Shouldn't make too much of a difference. Here's Heil trying to drive back out to Guerra. Thought about it, 3 was pressured. And off of the hands of Heil, Courtney Keegan knew she had a good pass, but Nikki couldn't handle that one. And it's out of bounds to Homestead. 12-10 Lancers. Lancers have not scored in the first 4.5 and counting of this second period. There's a jumper, good by Bree Ahern. Ahern now the leading scorer in the game with 7 points. Ahern, one of the better players on this Homestead club. Her and Hillary Parker, the leaders for this team. Really helped driving them to the 15 wins in 17 games. Christine Garman now in, she drives, floater no good. Lancers still haven't scored in the second quarter. Tie up, this one will favor the Mustangs. There's Lynn Horia, the scorekeeper, arrow keeper. The old-fashioned, what is that? Cardboard arrow, painted red. Gets the job done nonetheless. Lynn flips it over as play resumes, so the next time there's a tie-up or a new quarter start, we'll have St. Francis possession. Homestead trying to take their first lead of the game. Bree Ahern from 20, no good. Ball run down by Chen, back to Ahern. Homestead gets another chance. Good work on the offensive boards by Homestead. St. Francis' defensive highlight has been Nikki Heil's 4 blocks, but she can't stop Hillary Parker this time. Parker has 6, and Homestead, their first lead, 14-12. The Lancers have gone the first 6 minutes of quarter number 2 without a basket, and only 1 basket in the last 11 minutes of play. Keegan drives, wants a foul, doesn't get it. Homestead grabs the ball. Michelle Wald to Chen. Yvonne Chen, good pass, wide open Parker, scores! Mike DiCarlo is going to want to stop this. It's 16-12 Homestead, and a surprise here at the RASCOB. Monte Vista came in and topped St. Francis last week, regained the top spot in the CCS rankings, and there we are in the second quarter. The Mustangs have scored 14 of the last 16 in this contest, and they lead 16-12. These two teams right near the top of the CCS rankings as well. The St. Francis Lancers, as we get a look at it, you can see St. Francis and Homestead highlighted there. St. Francis, former number 1 after the loss to Monte Vista. Monte Vista swept the rankings. Annie Garrison with 28 points in that contest. Not the CCS player of the week because there was a soccer player who had a phenomenal week, but Annie a star in her own right. And St. Francis now number 2, Homestead number 4, and you got that sneaky little midi team in there behind Jen Glisson. At number 3, Sacred Heart Cathedral, one of the surprises in the CCS at number 5, and a very good Pinewood team led by Casey Shepler and Kelly Smith-Hams, I believe is her name, Catherine Smith-Hams, down there at Pinewood, a very good team. So a very tight first 6. Drops off a little bit from there, but as you can see, St. Francis and Homestead, number 2 and number 4. St. Francis has been all the way to the top this year. They've beaten Mitty at Archbishop Mitty. They've also lost to Mitty, and of course the loss to Monte Vista. And the rematch, by the way, with MV, February 6th. But right now, Mike DiCarlo's team has a full load on their hands with the Homestead Mustangs. And here's a foul called on Hillary Parker. That's her first, and the second Homestead team foul of the half, coming at the 1:31 mark of the second quarter. Hillary, a game high, 8 points. Here's Nikki Heil getting it to 16-14. Nikki's second deuce. The Mustangs push it up with a 2-point lead. First St. Francis basket comes 6 minutes, 35 seconds into the second. A very rare scoreless streak for Mike DiCarlo's club. If you go back to the first period, they went about a full quarter's worth without scoring. Bree Ahern, 10-foot jumper missed. Nikki Heil snares it, throws it away, but it is touched by Yvonne Chen. and St. Francis will keep it. She didn't really throw it away. That was a bad description. She was trying to get it to Christine Garma, but Chen stuck her hand in the way and knocked it out of bounds. So not really a bad pass on Heil's part, except that Chen saw it coming all the way. We're under a minute, second quarter. Good, tight first half. Looked like it might be something ugly when it was 10-2, but the Mustangs came roaring back after being down 12-7 also at the break. Lancers trying to get back to a 16-16 tie. And into the game for the first time with a bad pass is Whitney Barker. Now the Lancers get it back on a turnover, 33 seconds to go. Courtney Keegan has it knocked away. End-to-end action. Bree Ahern knocking that one away. Good defensive play by Bree. And with 30.8 to go, the Lancers control. Wild, end-to-end, good basketball action. Only seen here on KMVT. Nikki Heil in the lane, turnaround jumper, she's fouled. This one will go against Hillary Parker, her second, and a good move for the Lancers to pick up some fouls on Hillary, the biggest player on this Homestead team, as we see the block and the foul. Heil to the line to shoot two, 25.6 to go. And it's gonna be anybody's game in the second half, as we are at 16-14, possibly a little closer here in a moment. Homestead cheerleaders trying to distract Heil, and they do. First one misses. Nikki Heil had 7 points against Palo Alto. Just a brief appearance for Whitney Barker. She's replaced again by Shauna McGlennon. A couple fans looking on. 16-14, we got about 300 here tonight, maybe a little less. And Heil misses both free throws, so Homestead will get the last shot and will go to the locker room with the lead, barring a turnover and basket by the Lancers. Erin Morikawa to Ahern, over to Min. Chen thought about a shot, bad pass. Lancers with 6 seconds. Guerra to Keegan, she's gonna have to hurry with 3. And we have a foul with 2.3 to go. And that is on Hillary Parker, and danger, danger for Hillary. She's got 3. They will try and get Hillary out of there for the rest of the half, which is 2.3 seconds long. She leaves with 3 fouls and a game high 8 points. It'll be an exciting second half. Stay with us here on KMVT. Last shot of the half by Heil, no good, and the Mustangs go to the half with a lead. Exciting first half of basketball here on KMVT. Just 2 points, though, in the second quarter for the Lancers, and at the half, they trail the Homestead Mustangs 16-14.
Bob, we can still win.
Third quarter underway at the Rascob. Andre Polizzi with you, along with our producer director Lazarus Sargenides, and a traveling violation on Nikki Heil to get things going. The Lancers trailing at home 16-14 to the defending CCS Division II champs, the Homestead Mustangs. Hillary Parker and Bree Ahern, the two all-CCS players from last year, leading the way with 8 and 7 points respectively, the leading scorers in the game. Nikki Heil leading the way for St. Francis with 4. The Lancers, who have scored many points in quarters this year, just 14 at the half in a game they led 10-2. Homestead misses. Nikki Heil back the other way. She missed the layup. Things going that way for St. Francis tonight. Doesn't happen that way too often here at the Rascob. There's a jumper good by Hillary Parker. First double-digit player of the game, Hillary with 10. And the Mustangs 18-14 leaders. The Mustangs, 2 losses this year. One, of course, to Monte Vista, something they have in common with St. Francis, who also has 2 losses this year and 15 wins. Lancers passing it around, Osagera to Ryerson. Nikki Heil. Her turnaround jumper good. Heil has 6. Heil getting a start tonight along with Shauna McGlennon in place of Goodell Kelly and Teresa Guerra, although both of them have seen action as well. Here's a traveling violation called by referee Craig Goldberg, and that is on Bree Ahern.
They've got 2 scorers on the court. Help out.
So the Lancers will inbound, down by 2, 18-16. Andy Fracchia, our other ref tonight, veteran CCS crew. Lancers also a loss to Monte Vista here last week at the Raz Cup. As Charlie Ryerson, a 14-footer. And the Lancers have tied it up, 18-18. Good matchup tonight here in Mountain View. Ahern to Parker. Parker playing with 3 fouls. There's a Lancer player in foul trouble too. I believe it's Skidell Kelly. Yes, Skidell Kelly with 3. Back the other way, the Lancers. Oseguera lays it up. Another blown layup. Lancers have blown 2 layups here in the third quarter. Very uncharacteristic of a Mike DiCarlo club. Yvonne Chen jumper no good. Homestead hauls it in. Hillary Parker. Ahern for 3, no. Courtney Keegan grabs it. First half went by lickety-split for Mike DiCarlo and Ernie Dosa's club. Only a combined 10 team fouls. Only 1 timeout used by each team, so pretty quick half. There's a turnover by the Lancers. So a very fun, tight, well-contested basketball game between 2 very good basketball teams. Both 15-2, 3-1. Both teams looking to gain complete control of second place in the Anza behind Monte Vista, who they both had their only league losses to. And Monte Vista won both those games on the road. Hillary Parker's shot won't fall. Courtney Keegan pulls it down, goes across half court, gonna try and go coast to coast. Now she passes for Heil, back to Ryerson for a 3. Yes! Charlie Ryerson's second 3. She's now the Lancers leading scorer with 8, including 2 threes. 21-18, St. Francis. Third quarter, almost halfway gone. Great brawl today here on KMVT. Glad you joined us for this shootout in the De Anza division. And a steal by Ryerson. Let's see if the Lancers can get a layup. This time it is in. Third time's the charm. Charlie Ryerson, double digits, 10 points. Ernie Dosa has seen enough. 23-18 Lancers here in the third quarter. And let's get a look at the defense of Charlie Ryerson as Ernie Dosa's club regroups. Charlie Ryerson just stepped in front of that pass, and after seeing a couple of her teammates miss layups, Ryerson concentrates, takes her time, and scores a layup on that man, Ernie Dosa's club. 23-18. The Lancers now a 5-point lead after trailing at the half, 16-14. We've mentioned how the Lancers have scored numerous points in quarters sometimes. They had 28 in a game in the first quarter against Hillsdale. 24 and 22 also in the mini tournament. And they've had 17 and 18 on numerous occasions, including scoring 17 points in a quarter twice in play earlier this week against Palo Alto. St. Francis's 2 losses to Midi and of course Monte Vista. And Monte Vista, a tough loss here at home where they led in the first half and seemed to be in control of that game. Badly outplayed in the second half. And the other loss, of course, to Midi in the Sacred Heart Prep tournament, a team they later avenged. Bree Ahern's 3 won't fall. Hillary Parker, tough board, back up, no good. And a foul on Nikki Heil. Nikki Heil's first personal foul, first team foul of the half. Hillary Parker at the line for 2 shots. Hillary and Charlie Ryerson leading scores of the game, each with 10. First free throw no good by Parker. Neither team shooting the few free throws they've had very well. Bree Ahern missed a couple earlier. Somebody missed a couple for the Lancers, Nikki Heil, I believe, but Homestead grabs the rebound after Parker misses her second. Wow, just 1 made free throw tonight, 1 of 2 by Michelle Wald. Teams have pretty much combined 1 for 10. Here's a steal, Courtney Keegan, layup. This time it's in. The Lancers turning on the D, turning on the crowd, and turning up the scoreboard, 25-18, St. Francis. Lancers' biggest lead of the game was 8. Homestead's biggest lead has been 4. Three-pointer Ahern off the front iron. Heather Goodell Kelly throwing arms around and grabbing the board. 3 minutes to go here in quarter number 3, and a steal by Homestead. Charlie Ryerson's pass picked off. Yvonne Chen at the point in the backcourt with Erin Morikawa. Technically up front, although 2 of them are guards, Michelle Wald, Hillary Parker, and Bree Ahern. Parker gets the rebound, back up and in. Hillary Parker, a tough inside foe at 6 foot. Likely will be a small or power forward, probably the latter in college. 25-20, Lancers on top. Number 2 leading number 4 by 5. Lancers playing Guerra, along with Heil, Keegan, Goodell Kelly, and Ryerson, and a foul on the floor. Foul is on Yvonne Chen. That is her first personal. First team foul of the half, and Chen will get a break. She is replaced by Yumi Min. Goodell Kelly goes up, and she draws a personal foul on Homestead. Second team foul. This one right away on Yumi Min. Right after she comes in, she picks up a foul. This will send Goodell Kelly to the line for 2 shots. And let's see if Heather Goodell Kelly can do what Nikki Heil, Hillary Parker, Bree Ahern, and a few others were not able to do well tonight, and she makes a free throw. Just the second made free throw of the game, one made in the first half by Michelle Wald of Homestead. Lancers back out to a 6-point spread. Missed free throw, and it's hauled in by Charlie Ryerson. So the Lancers get 1 in the ball. Ryerson for 3, yes! Charlie Ryerson playing spectacularly here in quarter number 3, and it's 29-20 St. Francis. The Lancers, their biggest lead. A game high 13 for Charlie Ryerson, playing with 2 fouls. Homestead a little bit overwhelmed. They have 2 timeouts at their disposal if they wish to use them. 1:40 to go, third quarter, another steal. Charlie Ryerson back the other way. And it's a Ryerson quarter at the Raskov. Charlie Ryerson has scored 12 points, 15 total, those 12 here in the third. And matter of fact, the Lancers have scored 17 here in the third, Ryerson with 12 of those. Here's Hillary Parker driving, nothing but backboard. Taken away by Goodell Kelly. The Lancers pulling away, 11-point lead in the ball. Ryerson again, no, air ball this time. Well, Charlie feeling confident, but that one a little too rushed. Maybe another half or step or 2 before she held and shot would have helped her on that one. Bree Ahern. Lancers playing great defense in the third quarter, just 4 Homestead points. We're under a minute. They're doing to them what the Lancers had done to them in the second quarter. But here's a basket by Bree Ahern. Her third, she has, well, I should say her fourth. One of them was a 3. She has 9. 31-22, St. Francis, a 9-point edge. 26 and counting. Lancers have 18 to shoot. Here's Heil between 2 players, fumbles it, but it's touched by Yumi Min out of bounds. 19.1, 12 on the shot clock, third quarter, times for you. Teresa Guerra gets a rest, Shauna McGlennon returns. Yvonne Chen returns for Yumi Min. Catch and shoot, Heather Goodell Kelly, no. Michelle Wald grabs it, 14 and counting to go. Hillary Parker, Homestead trying to get within 7 here at the quarter, or 6 if this falls, yes. Yvonne Chen from long distance, and the quarter ends with a 6-point lead for the Lancers. Well, the lead was up as high as 11, a 5-0 run to end the quarter for Ernie Dosa's club, and at the third quarter break, here on KMVT, St. Francis 31, Homestead 25, should be an exciting fourth quarter coming up. There you see the line score. The Lancers, after scoring just 2 points in the second quarter and falling behind at halftime, rally for a 17-9 third behind Charlie Ryerson's 12 points, 15 total. And the Lancers score 17 in the third and lead 31-25. Homestead, however, scored the last 5. They were down by 11, now down 6. Michelle Wald, jumper no good. Nikki Heil with it, stolen by Brie Ahern. Homestead gets another chance. Parker denied a wide open shot. And now thrown away but touched by Charlie Ryerson. There's Michelle Wald. She's getting better every game. Had a very good first quarter. Hauled in some rebounds, made a free throw. Made some good passes, and this time, nothing good comes of it. The Lancers take it away. 7.5 to go in an exciting contest tonight here at the Razcob, 31-25. Lancers by 6. McGlennon, Goodell Kelly, Ryerson. Ryerson from 22, she hits! Charlie Ryerson's 4th 3. 18 points, 15 in the second half, and a 34-25 lead for the Lancers. Oh, what a game for Charlie Ryerson.
Good job, Sean.
Mustangs back the other way, down 9. Number 2, leading number 4. Parker, Chen, trying to drive on Keegan. Back to Parker from 17, good. Hillary Parker. High score for the Mustangs, Hillary with 14. That's 1 more point than half her team score. And of course, Ryerson, the leading scorer in the game with 18. 6.5 to go. Homestead with 2 timeouts, St. Francis with 3 if you're keeping track of such things. Heil puts in a 8-footer, and that's point number 7 and point number 8. 36-27 Lancers. Wald on the drive. Cut off by Goodell Kelly, has to pass it out. Chen starts things over. Hillary Parker, Michelle Wald, back to Parker. Yumi Min from 14, no good. Fight for the rebound, out of bounds, Lancer ball. Substitutions for the Mustangs. Aaron Morikawa returns for Michelle Wald. Sandy Oseguera returns for Charlie Ryerson. And unfortunately, they don't announce that Ryerson's departing because, well, Ryerson isn't departing. She went over to the bench, talked to Mike DiCarlo for a second, but she stays in the game. Nikki Heil departs. I was going to say, if Ryerson's departing right now, she should get a heck of an ovation. But that will come later as long as the Lancers keep their lead. Right now it's at 9, 5:40 and counting to go in the ballgame. Goodell Kelly needs help, taken away by Parker. Parker, nobody in front of her, tries to go the way. She's fouled by Shauna McGlennon. Good foul, McGlennon using that one. We'll take another look. Good defense by Parker. And McGlennon, what she does here, she saves an easy basket and makes Parker get them both from the line where she missed 2 earlier. And now she's over 3 from the line. 1 made free throw for each team out of about 8 taken or 9 taken for each team. Michelle Wald and Heather Goodell Kelly, the only ones able to put it in the basket from the free stripe. And now add Hillary Parker to that club. She's 1 of 4 from the line. 36-28, an 8-point spread, St. Francis. 5:22 and counting in the contest. Up next for Homestead. Next week they will play Gunn, and then the big rematch at Monte Vista. We have a foul down low before the shot. Andy Fracchia calls this one on Yvonne Chen. That is her 2nd personal and the 3rd team foul of the half. Ryerson again, air this time. McGlennon pulls it, and now McGlennon's putback is hauled in by Yvonne Chen. Ahern the other way for 3. Brie Ahern, her 2nd 3. 12 points for Brie, and it's a 5-point ball game again. Don't go anywhere. Possible barn burner finish here tonight at the Razcob. And the Lancers turn it over. Charlie Ryerson can't control that pass. And Teresa Guerra will return for, well, no. She will return for Shauna McGlennon. There's Teresa. Teresa has not scored tonight. Her and Heather Goodell Kelly did not start this contest, but they have played significant minutes, especially Goodell Kelly. Drive by Morikawa. Her shot is not there. Out of bounds, St. Francis ball. We mentioned the rematch for Homestead next week, as there is a timeout on the floor, so we'll get a chance to look at those dates. Next week for Homestead, they play at Gunn, and they play host to Gunn. And then next Thursday, they will get Monte Vista again, one of the two teams that has beaten them. And Ernie Dosa really looking forward to that matchup against Monte Vista. He'd like to be the one to end Monte Vista's league winning streak this year. Both teams now with 2 timeouts remaining. By the way, as you see Julie Scherenberg. Julie going to welcome a couple of new Scherenbergs a little bit later this year. For St. Francis, a big week upcoming for them as well. A couple of league matches on the road, and we'll find out how road weary or road tough the Lancers can get. They play at Los Gatos, a team that is just 1-4 in league play. And then Mike DiCarlo and Steve Smith's club will play at Gunn. So both teams taking on Gunn next week. And the big rematch dates, the St. Francis Monte Vista match at Monte Vista, the rematch from last week's Monte Vista win here at Razcob, will be February 6th. And then the Lancers rematch with Homestead February 15th. So mark those dates on your calendar. Both games on the road for the Lancers and their fans. Lancers keep it. Ball knocked out of bounds. 5-point lead, 4:17 to go. Courtney Keegan, Goodell Kelly, turnaround, short jumper, good. Heather Goodell Kelly, second hoop. She has 5. 38-31, Lancers. Ahern, quick, long 2, no good. Charlie Ryerson has it, and a bad shot selection that time by Bree Ahern. She just threw one up. Oseguera. Both teams have played man-to-man defense all night long. No zones here in the Razcob zone, and that one off the fingertips of Ryerson and into the hands of the Mustangs. Each team with 2 timeouts. The Mustangs have committed 3 team fouls. The Lancers have committed 2. The only players in foul trouble, Heather Goodell Kelly of St. Francis, Hillary Parker of Homestead, each with 3. Here's Parker. She drives around Goodell Kelly, won't fall. Ball out of bounds, last touched by Parker. Mike DiCarlo calls for Nikki Heil to replace Sandy Oseguera. The Lancers go big again. Lancers playing Ryerson, Guerra, Heil, Goodell Kelly, and Keegan. Homestead playing Morikawa, Chen. Also Min, Parker, and Ahern. Goodell Kelly swatted by Parker. Goodell Kelly gets it back, and it's in. Heather Goodell Kelly never got away from it. She stayed with it the whole way. She has her second hoop in less than a minute, and Homestead will take timeout again. Homestead has 1 timeout left, but right now they're down 9. 2:57 to go. 40-31 St. Francis, and KMVT's exclusive coverage of high school girls basketball continues with the finish of this game in a moment. Homestead down to 1 timeout. Some happy Lancer fans up in the rafters at a 280 or so attended game between Homestead and St. Francis. The Mustangs down by 9 here on the road. St. Francis trying to get second place all to themselves. Ahern, a wide open 3. You can't leave Bray Ahern alone or she'll kill you. It's a 6-point game again with still 2.5 minutes to go. St. Francis has threatened to pull away 3 or 4 times in the second half. Homestead won't let them. 2 very good clubs here tonight. They'll do it again Feb 15th. Ball out of bounds. Homestead gets it. Lancer touch. And the Mustangs get the ball back, trailing by 6 with 2:21 to go. And McGlennon replaces Guerra. Ernie Dosa, Mike DiCarlo. 2 good technicians of the De Anza division. Right up there with Monte Vista coach.
There you go.
Here's Homestead trying to push it in. Ahern again. She hits again from 16. Bree Ahern has scored 17. She's now the Homestead scorer. Didn't say who the Homestead or the Monte Vista coach was, did I? A few moments ago. Virgil Pate. There you go, Virgil, if you're watching this one. Carlo and Dosa certainly right there with them in terms of good coaches. Here's Adele Kelly, a turnaround miss. She runs down her own rebound. Called for a traveling after she grabbed it. 4-point game, 1:35 to go. This game has been as high as 11 for St. Francis. It's been at 9 twice. Now it's at 4. Homestead's biggest lead has been 4, but they haven't led since about the 6-minute mark of the third quarter. 40-36. Bree Ahern has had the hot hand for Homestead here in the second half. Charlie Ryerson for the Lancers. A drive by Parker. She almost lost it out of bounds. Now she throws it into the hands of Courtney Keegan. Lancers a 4-point lead in the ball with 1:04. And Homestead realizing that they are going to have to start perhaps fouling. That is Yvonne Chen's foul. That is her third. 3 players now in foul trouble. Chen with 3, Parker with 3, and Goodell Kelly with 3, and Homestead's used their final timeout. What a great game here tonight at the RASCOB. St. Francis 2 timeouts left. St. Francis with 2 team fouls. The Homestead Mustangs with 4. So if they get into a situation where they need a possession of the ball, they're going to have to foul 3 times to force the Lancers to the line. The Lancers, of course, have made just 1 free throw tonight. Homestead's made just 2, a combined 3 free throws made by both teams. The Lancers led this one 10-2. They led at the break of quarter number 1, 12-7. They fell behind in the second quarter, scoring just 2 points. That's got to be a season low. Trailed 16-14 at the break. Rallied in the third quarter to take a 31-25 lead at the end of 3. 40-36, 1 minute to go. Lancers have a full shot clock to work with. And there's a foul. This one is on Erin Morikawa. That's her first. That is the 5th team foul. They must foul 2 more times to force the Lancers to go to the line. Inbound. No quick foul yet. Chen doesn't really want to be the one to foul, but she's going to have to. She doesn't get it done. Now the Lancers using some of the shot clock. Is down to 15, 42 seconds. Lancers playing keep away, and there's another foul by Yvonne Chen. She didn't want to be the one to have to foul. That is her 4th. That is the 6th team foul, so this time Homestead will probably foul right away and put the Lancers on the line for 1-1. You want to put it in the hands of a good foul shooter like Courtney Keegan or Heather Goodell Kelly. They do. Goodell Kelly has it. She's fouled by Bree Ahern, her first, and this will finally put the Lancers on the line for 1-1. 7th team foul. And a good shooter, Heather Goodell Kelly, the only Lancer to make a free throw tonight in about 9 attempts at the line for a very important 1-1. Teresa Guerra replaced for defensive purposes by Shauna McGlennon. Shauna tonight has not scored, but she's played well. And a big free throw for Heather Goodell Kelly. She'll get a bonus one if she makes this. It is no good. High rebound grabbed by Chen. Homestead can close to 2 or 1, but it's a 2-possession game. You want to get the ball in the hands of Bree Ahern. St. Francis doesn't want to leave her alone. Morikawa, a long 2. She stepped inside the 3-point line before she shot it. 20 seconds. Lancers by 2. The Mustangs must foul, and foul quickly. The Lancers may have turned it over. They did. The Lancers turned it over. The Mustangs have the ball with 11.6. They don't have any timeouts. They must play it like this. Well, correction, they do have a timeout. I must have charged one of those timeouts as they're signaling that that is a Homestead timeout. I must have charged one of the Homestead, or one of the St. Francis timeouts earlier to Homestead. Ball out of bounds, and you can see referee Craig Goldberg's hand getting ready to signal ball for Homestead. Homestead had to have a timeout. Why St. Francis would give them an opportunity to set up an offensive play is beyond me. They wouldn't. So I am led to believe that I mistakenly marked a Homestead timeout when it was a St. Francis timeout that was called sometime during the third quarter. So Homestead now has no timeouts left, and change it and mark it so St. Francis still has one. If for some reason Homestead should tie this thing up, St. Francis probably with a couple seconds left would have a chance to make one quick play. We have 11.6 to go. The Lancers can foul a non-shooting foul without getting penalized for it because they only have 2 team fouls. And look for something to Bree Ahern. Will Homestead go for a win with a 3? They're down by 2. They have the ball in St. Francis territory off a Lancer turnover. Ahern with it, 9 seconds. The Lancers foul, that doesn't hurt them at all. Shauna McGlennon picks up her second, 8.8 to go. Homestead sets up again, 8.8. What a finish this is gonna be. And another foul. Mike DiCarlo not at all unhappy about this. The Mustangs are using seconds. Courtney Keegan with that last foul, that's her first. 6.6 to go. Inbound to Ahern, she gets off a shot, she's fouled. She was fouled on the shot, the ball missed. Ahern will have a chance to tie it from the line, and if that had gone in, Ahern could have gone for a 3-point play. Look at another look. This is not a good foul. Shauna McGlennon with a bad foul that time. She wanted to foul her before the shot, which was a good intention, but she did foul her too late, and now Mike DiCarlo will use his last timeout. So both teams out of timeouts, 4.6 to go. A couple of free throws coming up for Bree Ahern. 40-38 in favor of the homesteading Lancers. There's a look at your Lancer scoreboard. The possession arrow, if we have a tie-up, will favor the Lancers. So if the Lancers can get a jump ball, they will be in very good shape. They will take over possession. There you see the team fouls just a second ago. 7 for Homestead, 5 for the Lancers. That not important right now unless Bree Ahern misses the first free throw. If she does, she will probably try and miss the second intentionally, grab a rebound, and put it back in. If she makes the first free throw, she'll try and put the second one in also and tie this thing up, which means the Lancers would get a shot to rush it down court and get a shot. But if she misses the first, look for her to intentionally miss the second and try and grab the ball. Both teams out of timeouts. What a war here tonight at the Raz Cup. The Lancers had 4 chances to run away with this one. They couldn't do it. Homestead's come back every time. Big free throw. Ahern, no good. Still a 2-point deficit. She's gonna have to try and miss this one and get a rebound. Just 2 Mustangs up there. Second one good. We have a shooter violation. It's no good. St. Francis ball. Take the free throw off the board. Shooter violation, no point. St. Francis ball. Mustangs must foul in a hurry. They do. 1 second went off the clock. 4.6 to 3.6. Morikawa foul, her second. If you're the Lancers, you want 2 made free throws right here by Courtney Keegan. That'll give you a 2-possession game and the win. If you're Homestead and Ernie Dosa, you want to miss on this front end of a 1-and-1, therefore no back end. Grab the rebound, rush it down court, and throw up a quick 3 to try and win it. Let's see what happens. Another big free throw. Good. It's a 3-point game. The best the Mustangs can do is tie, barring some kind of crazy foul on a 3-pointer. If she makes this, it's essentially over. Keegan makes it. The Lancers are gonna win this one. Homestead inbounds and trying to save clock. A prayer no good, and the Lancers win. Dramatic victory tonight at home for the St. Francis Lancers. They overcome Homestead 42-38. Charlie Ryerson leading the way for the Lancers with 18, Nikki Heil chipping in 8, and Courtney Keegan adding 7 to help pace the way for Mike DiCarlo's club and a frustrated Homestead team. A little bit hurt here at the end as they drop to 15-3, 3-2 in the De Anza division into 3rd place. The Lancers gain control by the fist of 2nd place in the De Anza division with a 4-1 mark and 16-2 overall. There's our whole crew. Thanks to the gang for a great game tonight. The Mustangs led, by the way, by Hillary Parker with 15. Our technical director was Wendy Fleet. Lazarus Sargentini is our producer-director. Andre Polizzi, and thanks, by the way, to the St. Francis Athletic Department for their help with this broadcast. Final score tonight, the Lancers 42, the Mustangs 38. This has been a KMBT Sports presentation.